Hey, this morning I'm also going to talk about the C3 technique. B3, C3, swept wingtips, tip stalls, various names. Nothing's really settled in yet because not that many pilots know about this technique. It doesn't work on all gliders. It's ideal for the high aspect ratio wings, but it depends on the rigging on your glider. So it's a good idea to test this on the ground first to make sure that your wing does it, and to make absolutely sure that you are confident you know what lines you're pulling. Don't just go up there and start pulling random lines on the glider. But I'll show you how I do it on my glider, and we'll do a bit of a comparison and see if it's better or worse than big ears. Depends on the wing. Let's find out. Okay, so C3s, why would you use them? Well, same situation as when you'd be using big ears. You're wanting your descent to increase, but you're still wanting to maintain your forward speed. So very similar. Similar entry, I would recommend being a trim speed, making sure that your wing is directly overhead and not pitching. You reach up for the outer, the C3 line, make sure it's a C3 line, and I would recommend checking this on the ground first. So simulate this maneuver often on the ground, and when you're totally comfortable with it, then you do it in the air. It's going to have a lot of pressure. You're going to need gloves. The outer C3 line is usually pretty highly pressured when you pull it in, so it's more pressure than the big ears. You need to pull it down until the glider has broken properly. The wing will start pulling back, and what you're doing is you're inducing a kind of like a beeline stall, the way that you see that on the wing. It's on that C3, it might be a B3 depending on your rigging, and you're trying to get that stall to blow back in the wind, and then it'll be lined up directly with the wind. There'll be low drag, and you can hold it in, keep it steady. You don't need to pull any more than that. You can still weight shift, you can still use your speed bar at that point, and keeps it nice and steady. The big advantage of the C3 is when you let it go, it smacks open straight away. There's none of this big ears sticking or needing to pump it out, and it's why I use it on the Omega XL 3, because on the big ears, 1 in 5 or 6, the brake line likes to hook on the trailing edge a little bit, and it makes it difficult to clear. So for less fuss, I use the C3s, and then when I release, I know the wing's just going to smack out straight away. Cool, let's take it to the air and I'll show you. So here we are cruising around. Good opportunity to explain the B3s to you. Not all wings can do this, but a lot of the modern wings, particularly the high aspect ratio ones, it's possible on some of the setups to do the B3 instead of the big ears. You're using the line that's attached to the outermost B line, not the one that's on the stabilo. So you come in from the stabilo on your B, and you're pulling that one in. Same way that you put in the big ears line. You've got to keep holding it on. You can also use speed bar after you've applied it to keep a good angle of attack. Gives you about the same descent rate as the big ears, but less flappy, much easier to reinflate, and seems overall cleaner. I'm looking at my lines here. That is my big ears line, my outer A line. If I pull it down, you can see a little flappy big ears. It's stable now. Release it, opens out by itself. My B3 line is not this one, that's the stabilo. That's used for clearing the cravats. It's this one, just inside of that. So that one. If you have a look at the wing, I'll do it on both sides to keep it symmetric. Watch the wing, pulls there, and then it swept wingtips. Beautiful, really stable, really neat. To release, just ease up on the march, and off they come. You can use either, whichever ones work for you. So I'll reach up, get my B3s, pull them in, and now I'm going onto half bar, just to give me a little bit better angle of attack. Wings nice and stable. I've got a bigger descent rate than everybody else. I've got good forward speed, and when I've had enough of that, I can just release that. I can actually even stay on the bar. It's very, very comfortable. Okay, but your mileage may vary. You probably don't want to do this low for your first time. Make sure you've got lots of height, and make sure that you've got a wing that's suitable for B3s. Ask your instructor. Don't just take my word for it. You need to check. This is a Sigma 10. I can confirm Sigma 10 is great.